Hello guys, so welcome back. This is another week. I'm about to do analysis for the next week, that is from from the 30th to the 3rd, that is on Friday next week. So I hope you're able to see my screen clearly. So let me quickly come to let me just clear this. Okay, let me first let's start with the DXY, on what I'm seeing on DXY. If we come to the 4-hour time frame, let's start with the daily. 4 hours time frame. I think this is too that I need to clear this. How is the weekly? Let's start with the weekly. Let me change to this one, that is on daily time frame. So you see, generally we have these. Let me first clear everything. Remove 100 drawings, remove. I think that is better. So that is the weekly. So generally, you see, we are in a pullback of coming to this zone here. So you see, we have this major zone here. You have a major zone here with this break of structure. There was this break of structure. And then, so we are on a pullback back to the demand zone. So we are still, which means wherever we are catching is kind of coming back to the zone, and then we take the longer buys on DXY. So that is something you need to note. We are just on a pullback, but the general view on the weekly is uptrend. So if we come to the daily, time frame, you see, first of all, we need to see if we are already, let's check with the retracement tool, if we are already at 50%. So we are already at 50% of the retracement. So buys are already actually valid to take buys on DXY, and that's why, and some of my traders have been focusing on taking buys on DXY, which means sells on EURUSD or GBPUSD. So the buys on DXY are already valid because we already reached the 50% of the entire move. So if we come now to the 4-hour time frame, let's see. So what we actually needed to see, this is a very important zone we need to see. So two things will happen here now. It's either we move up this way and then we extend buys, or another possibility is if we have a reaction here, then we do like this, then we have another, then we do another fallout there. So those are the two likely scenario to happen. Okay, So let me remove the other one. So those are the two likely situations that might happen. And so at the moment, the most important thing is kind of trying to see how it will react there. So if we come to the 4-hour time frame, but generally the move is on an uptrend. So let's come to the 4-hour. If you come to the 4-hour, if we come to the 4-hour, this is a zone to really watch and see what will happen, because there might be some short sales. So I'm not really interested in taking trades very fast. You see, we also have this trend line liquidity here. So for me to take sales on DXY, I really need to see this trend line liquidity being swept, and then once we sweep, if we happen to sweep this trend line liquidity and then the candle closes below the trend line liquidity here, then that is when I will be confident to that we will be having more sales. But for now, I will really be interested in just watching and see how it's behaving. So yeah, and then if we have now something like that, that means so let's just wait and see. So but just know there are two scenarios: either we break this and then move up, or we take out this trend line liquidity and then we move down. Okay, yep. So I will be really careful and just watching and see how it's behaving there. So if we come to the 1 hour time frame, let's first come to the 30 minutes instead of the 1 hour. So if you come to the 30 minutes, still the same thing that I'm seeing. I would really be interested to see how. So for me, buys are still very valid. So I will not take sales on DXY at the moment until we take out this high here. Until if we take this high, let me do like this. If we take this high here and then we close below, that is, if we close below, then I will be interested to take sales. All right, then I will do something like this. Then maybe I do something like this. But that is once we have a sweep. Okay, but for now I'm still for the buys. I'm still for the buys on DXY. Okay, what is it need to? So if we come to the 15 minutes, for me, if we come to the 15 minutes, you see we have this break of structure, and then we have this order block here. Then for me, I'm still confident in taking buys long. So maybe I take something like this, something like that, and then to this top side somewhere here, maybe to somewhere here, to somewhere here. Yes. All right, so let me, if we extend this, yep. All right, so I'm still very interested to look for buys, although we also have a very interesting thing here. We also have a very interesting thing here with this break of structure. There is this break of structure, which means this point is also a valid sell, especially after taking this trend line, after sweeping this. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really want to see how the DXY will behave at this point. Yep. Which means if we come to the, let's come and look at the GBPUSD. Let's start with the daily time frame. The daily time frame, or let's start with the weekly time frame. So also we are also on as you can see, the sales are still very strong, which means we are still expecting buys on the DXY. So let me put this onto a euro hand. Let me use euro hand. Or let me use a XAUUSD, and then we remove all the drawings. Let's remove all the drawings here. Okay, so that is the 4 hour time frame. Let's start with the weekly on DXY. So on DXY we have these points, break of structure to the upwards, and then at the moment we are in kind of a retracement. We are in retracement. If we come to the daily, okay, that means we have this point here. If we come to the daily time frame, still seeing the same thing. So GBPUSD still favoring sales. If you just still favoring sales as we pull back to the demand zone. So, and that's why that also gives me the confidence that the XY might still push up, and that's why I'm really interested to I would only take sales on DXY once we take the general trend line liquidity. Yep. So which means let's come to the far. I don't have a clear picture there, which means GBPUSD is still pushing to the downward to somewhere here. Okay, to that zone. So I'm still favoring sales on GBPUSD, and yeah, we'll be looking for opportunities for sales, especially that this retracement here did not close above. Alright, so I'm still favoring sales on GBPUSD. Let's come to the 30 minutes where we should enter. So for me, I'm waiting for this point to enter for sales, this point here. So for me, sales from that point to this point. First of all, to this point. Yes, okay. But the long term is, I'm still favoring long term sales to somewhere here. But of course, I'm not a swing trader for now. But that is the general view, which means I will do something like this. Which means I'm just doing a general, but for me, since I'm not a swing trader for now, I will take sell from there to here to here. Okay, so if that is if the market comes to that point, let me do like this, then we do like this, and then we do like this. Okay, all right. But I think this order block is already, how's the 2 minutes behaving? 2 hours. Okay, yep. 5 minutes, I see nothing. So for me, I am very interested to see how it's going to be once it comes back to that point. Once it comes to that point, exact point there, and then my sales. So we had something like a sweep here. You see, we had this break of structure on 5 minutes, which later became the change of character here. So me, this is a good entry point to enter because we already had a sweep. So I don't think the market will be interested in taking out this high again. I don't think it. But let's just see how it's going to be. But I don't think it will be interested to still take out this high here. So if the market happened to come back to this point here, my entry will be from this 1.33174 to the downwards. Okay, yes, that is it on GBPUSD. all right. And then if now we come to the EURUSD, let's use the weekly. Of course, I'm still favoring sales. Let's remove this thing here, remove drawings, remove them. Okay, you see this one has a very good sweep. It had a very good sweep. Okay, so we am favoring sales, this pullback to which is coming downwards. so we are on a pullback to the demand zone. Okay, so of course we will not wait until it comes down, so we'll try to look for opportunities. All right, so we come to the 4 hour. Did we start with the daily? If you come to the daily, yeah, I don't see any demand zone that might really be unless this point here, maybe this point here, maybe this point, but here I'm favoring sales. Although we had this break of structure, and since we had a break of structure, the market may still come back to retouch probably here. This the market may want to come back to this point, so we'll just see how it's going to be. But yeah, let's come to the 30 minutes. I just want to make it very simple. We'll see how it's going to be here. We already reacted from that point, which means it's already tested, so it might not hold buys, so we might have something like this. To this point, and then we have a retest, and then again to the downwards. Okay, so I'm not getting a good entry. I don't see a good entry point for the EURUSD. Let's see the 15 minutes time frame. Unless this 15 minutes. Okay, especially that we had this break of structure. I really am not seeing a very good entry on EURUSD for now, but yeah, maybe we might take sales from that point, that inverted fair value gap from that point. This is a very long, that is a very long stop loss. I don't like it. And then maybe to where now? I don't have a good entry here. Maybe somewhere there. But we'll see how the market is going to behave. But in short, I favor sales than buys. Yeah, okay. Seems like that number of pips for stop loss is okay, but it's only 14 pips, so not too much. Then now the last pair to check out, I'm interested to also check out on gold. Okay, I'm currently not trading gold, but yeah, I always love to see how gold behave. Maybe we'll start trading gold, but it's not my favorite pair, but I just enjoy looking at it and also doing analysis on gold. If you notice, if I show you on my Rwanda, I actually have an entry. You see, I am not in the entry, but I did analysis on. I had done an analysis on this one. I had set up buy limit, but later removed it. But yeah, this is my general view. I already made analysis on it, so favoring buys on gold to this point, to this okay, let's start with the 4 hour time frame. Okay, generally gold at the moment is really dropping. And I think another point that we might have another drop is probably at this point. So, and that is why I had set a buy limit analysis from that point there to that point, you see, and that's why I had such an entry analysis on that. Yeah, so if we are trading gold, we'll really need to see what would be the reaction on this 1 hour. I think gold kind of really respect fair value gaps than order blocks from the way I've been observing it. So I'm really interested to see if it will close above this, you see. So I really need to see how it's behaving there. If it closes below, so we might have something like this on gold. We either have something like this, maybe something like this, and then that way, or another scenario would be a drop, then a retest of this point, then another drop, probably to the lower, to take out these trendline liquidities. As it at the moment it's currently dropping, it's gold is on a downtrend. So possible scenarios, those are the two possible scenarios that I'm seeing. But yeah, so let's just wait and see how it is going to behave. Yeah, but it's currently on it's really dropping, so it's a risk buy, but I'm not actually in the trade, but just I love doing analysis on gold, even though I don't take it. Yeah, so guys, that is my view on the pairs. I think I might let me look at AUDUSD. I think this one is also dropping. Yes, it's dropping. It's also a pullback to this point, and that's why I'm still favoring sales on GBPUSD, EURUSD, and of course NZDUSD, but we'll just see. Yep, so if we come to the 2 hour, I love looking at the 2 hour time frame as well. So it's still dropping. I really don't have an entry on this. I don't have a good entry point. On this, unless this point, if it happens to come back to this point, which is really probability of coming back to this point and then dropping is very low, considering this covering these pips from here to this here is really it's too long compared to the drop, compared to the way it's dropping. So yeah, I'm still favoring sales, although I don't have an entry point on the AUDUSD. If we come to the NZDUSD, let's look at the NZDUSD. Let's start with the daily time frame. Yeah, you see still dropping. I don't think this point will hold. I don't think it will hold this. I really don't think it will hold that sells. But of course we will have some reaction at that demand zone. So let me see if I can have an entry. I also don't have a good end unless it comes back to this point here. If it comes back to this point after taking out this liquidity trend line, this trend line liquidity here, then that is when I'll be confident to take sales from that point. From that point to probably now downwards. But yeah, so to probably that point, but also probability of it coming to the upwards then dropping is also low. So yeah, but just yeah, general view of it. So GBP USD, EURUSD, NZDUSD, AUDUSD, I'm favoring sales, but yeah, that is my general view, guys. So if you have any idea or view, please comment, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel so we can be having a chat conversation on this. Okay, so guys, subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video. Okay, and like, subscribe, share. All right, yes. I need to relook on this GBPUSD entry. Yeah, but that is a very good point, especially that we had this order block. This order block has been disrespected. See, this order block has been disrespected, so which means we will have, I actually don't think this market will reach my sell limit, because we have this order block that has been disrespected, and so there is a probability, there is high probability that the market, if it pulls back, will want to retest the order block that was disrespected and then drop. Okay. Yep. So yeah, we'll see how it's going to work. Okay, so guys, see you in the next video when I will be uploading, when I do a live entry. And yeah, make sure to subscribe to this growing channel. Okay, peace out.